Hey guys, Brent Hull, Wednesday design video. Got a mid-century house in Massachusetts. Come join me. Okay guys, here's a mid-century project. This is in Massachusetts. It's a 50s, 60s house that they're wanting to try to add some arts and crafts detailing to. So what happens in a house of this period is you have very wide boards. And, you know, I was talking to one of my other videos about that the sizing, the face showing of this member, this piece of siding, is a real clue that helps you date the house and date when it was built. So in the mid-century, going out into the West Coast, they're doing a lot of firs, a lot of redwoods. Those trees are so big, you're actually able to get siding that's 12 inches, 14 inches wide. And the face of these things is 10 inches wide, 12 inches wide. So that's what you're looking at here. But this house actually lends itself to the arts and crafts style, but we're going to change some key features. We're going to change the gable ends. We're going to change the windows for sure. I mean, my gosh, those windows are terrible. But, and look how defining windows can be if we do a, you know, kind of that 3/1 casement that was so popular in the arts and craft period. And so we're going to fix some of these details and add kind of better elements so that this ranch house can still function, still tell its story, but kind of have an arts and crafts vibe, which is something they did. And so front door is kind of especially a good opportunity. I mean, you look at it there, and then our opportunity of kind of improving this thing. Notice what Ashlyn did on this one, just bringing some organization to the front door. This is a little bit afterthought, right? Just like what are we doing on this front door? Is that even the front door? Is that a side door? This gives it that presence and gives it that importance that lets you know that where you're supposed to go. And so if you did a colonnade or some kind of timbered element over on one side, that too helps balance this out so it's not so kind of lonely and stuck back there. A different door style really helps, and also changing these windows. If you look finally at the garage, it's not changing so much, but look at the details around the garage. And so we're going to fix these windows over here. We're going to fix the gable end returns. We're going to do brackets out there, right? So we've got brackets, we've got decorative tails, which is a really important part of that story. These windows are so much better than those. That divided light and that story really helps a great deal. And so you'll notice we're treating the end detail, the rafter tails, and opening those rafter tails up really is both part of both stories, right? And so this is a little trellis over top, a little window box here, all of these small little elements and small things that make such a huge difference. And so we go from something that looks mid-century, kind of a bad mid-century with these white gable end returns, this kind of overhang T111 kind of siding there. There's rich materials here, and this kind of shows off what that opportunity is and how much better that can look. So if we're looking at this house, and one thing that you guys can do, because you guys will say on YouTube, hey, will you work on some more mid-century houses? And here's a good example of a house that can be much better, okay, if we will take the design clues. What are those? Okay, we've got a low pitch roof. Pretty typical in that arts and craft period to have a low pitched roof. Long overhangs, wide overhangs, fits both eras, right? And so if you think of Frank Lloyd Wright, he built in that arts and crafts period. He built, you know, the Roby house has those long lines, and the association between the Roby house and the ranch style is really clear, right? That they led to one another. And so you have in the Roby house, you have kind of an open floor plan, you have this long and horizontal look. And so there are elements and details that tie together. And so by just focusing on windows and overhangs, just those two elements alone, this house, in my opinion, gets completely transformed from that Brady Bunch kind of bad mid-century, I shouldn't say bad mid-century, just kind of typical mid-century, to something that could be really evocative and really fun to live in. Really tells an interesting story. The setting is great. The opportunity is really clear. And so this house with better windows, wider overhangs, can play with both and be both. And I think it's really special. I think Ashlyn did a great job. Okay guys, so what do you think? Changing those gable end returns, right? It's a box Steve going to the open rafter tails really makes a big difference. Windows are huge, huge. Can't say it enough, right? Changing a few architectural details transforms that house. We go from the same architectural story and narrative kind of blending together in that style, so we can make a mid-century house be arts and craftsy kind of, and with that feel. And that house really has a gamble house, really has a cool feel now. So let me know what you guys think. I think it's a big improvement.